Yo, what's good everyone? Coach D here with the Shift Method, coming to y'all with another awesome YouTube video. Today, I'm showing you my top 3 favorite chest exercises, specifically to help grow your chest with the equipment I got here at Johnny O's Gymnasium. As always, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe if y'all enjoyed this video. Remember, we got daily content on the socials. Y'all know about that. We got the merch on the store. We got services. And I got a couple spots open in the morning if you want to do some in-person coaching with me. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, so we're gonna talk about my 3 favorite exercises to build the chest I like to do at Johnny O's. We gotta do a quick little anatomy testing, gotta know a little bit more about the chest before we get into it. So the chest is a very large fan-shaped muscle. You're gonna see a cool little graphic here that really covers a big portion of the anterior portion of your upper body. And so you see the fibers, it's very fan-like, so it has a lot of unique movements that it can do depending on the position of your arm. This typically is described as having 2 different heads. You have what's called your sternal head, which is kind of the main portion of your pec, the body portion that goes into the center of your chest. And then you have what's known as your clavicular head, or the upper portion of your pec that goes up towards your clavicle. And in fact, if you have a low enough body fat percentage or enough muscular development, you'll even see in some people where they have a division between these 2 heads. So again, in terms of where it is, right, it goes into your clavicle, your collarbone, and into your sternum, and then it ultimately goes up into your humerus or your arm bone here. Now, in terms of actions, what you're gonna see is that it has a lot because it has all these different ways in which the fibers run. Always remember, in terms of muscle action, you're going to bring the insertion to the origin. So if I bring the muscle together and follow the fibers, I can see where it goes. Again, the pec major is primarily going to be horizontal adduction, which is this action of bringing the arms together horizontally, or think like a pressing motion like a bench press or a push-up. It's also going to help with shoulder flexion, so bringing your arm forward, and extension, bringing your arm back. And of course, it also, because of its attachment on the arm, it is also going to help internally rotate the shoulder. So bringing your arm from a forward-facing position with your palm to rotating it inward so your palm faces away from you. All right, so now that we got all the anatomy down, we're gonna go ahead and run into these exercises that are gonna help develop your chest here. So let's jump right into it. So the first exercise we're gonna do here is going to be the Smith machine incline bench press. Now, I really like this one because personally for chest development, I really struggle with the upper or the clavicular portion of my chest like we talked about in the beginning. And so having yourself in more of an incline position, doing things like overhead pressing or incline pressing variations, it's gonna help put a little bit more emphasis on that clavicular head. So in order to set this up, all you're gonna need is a Smith machine and then a bench setup at about 30 to 45 degrees. Anywhere between there is going to be good, and then it becomes kind of preferential at that point. A big thing to note when you're setting this up. What's up, Luca? Come here, baby. Ah, what a dog. He's so cute, man. Here. Luca, we're talking about bench press. Come here, baby boy. So, Luca's favorite exercise is also bench press, and so Luca's going to help us explain it here, right, bud? Yes, we're doing incline bench press. It's good for the chest. Let's get into it. So the reason why I like to use the machine, you can use a barbell or dumbbells, that is totally fine. I like this because it kind of limits any stabilization muscles more so than if I use dumbbells or a bench. So I can control the line of force as much as possible. What this lets me do is let my reps be more consistent, lets me put really good emphasis on the chest and have a lot more control. Plus, because it's a sit machine, I can go relatively close to or at failure at any point because I can always re-rack it and not have to worry about getting a spotter or failing on a rep because I'm tired. Now, again, for the setup, you want to make sure that the Smith machine is in a good position where it's going to hit the upper portion of your chest, and then again, you have that bench at a 30 or 45 degree. Big thing I like to know too, which I'm going to show you here, is that you want to make sure that when you unrack the Smith machine, I like to have it rolled back. That way when you're done or you feel like you're going to fail, you can always just roll it forward and it's a lot easier. I find it a lot smoother when you're doing your reps, so I would recommend doing that when you set up. And lastly, what you're going to see from the side is you got to have it pretty close to you. I don't want to aim it at the bottom of my chest or towards the top of my stomach. I want it pretty high up, almost like it's hitting my collarbone area, because again, I'm aiming for the upper portion of my chest. I'm aiming for that clavicular head, and so that's where I want to have the emphasis for the way the force is going onto my muscle. I'm getting myself set up. Grip is just outside shoulder width. I'm gonna unrack, go nice and slow, all the way down till it touches the upper portion of my chest. I'm gonna explode on the way up. Trying not to use my feet too much, trying to keep my shoulder blades pinned back. Here we go. And you see, it's very close to my face, right? It's really towards that upper portion of the chest. Even just being here at the bottom, I feel a really nice stretch here. So the next exercise is going to be a decline cable fly. Again, the pec goes in a lot of different directions in terms of the ways that the fibers run. And so it's going to help us go from a point of being in a low position to a high, and also a high position to a low. And so to kind of hit the pec in a different angle, I really like to do from a position of having my arms high, more position of flexion, and bringing them down while also getting some of that horizontal adduction to really work the main function of the pec. Okay, so big important thing with any kind of fly variation, especially with the incline flies, I want to make sure that I have them set to where I can have my arms in as much overhead position or flexion as possible. And I'm going to try and keep my elbow as straight as I can. A little bend is okay. That's going to make it a little bit easier because I'm limiting or reducing the moment arm. But I want to keep my arms as straight as possible, get as big of an eccentric stretch as I can, and really squeeze and contract my hands together at the bottom. You can even cross them if you would like at the bottom to really increase that range of motion. So again, I have it set up high, grab my handles, and we're gonna go through some reps here. And last but not least is the seated pec fly. Again, similar to any standing fly variation like when we did the decline flies, but I really like this because in a seated position and one where I have a lot more control and stability, I can really push the weight and control where, you know, my upper body, my stabilizers aren't as much as a limiting factor because this is on a fixed track here. And so the important thing is I want to make sure when I have it set up, I have the range of motion as far back as I can. And I want to make sure that when I bring my arms together, I have them roughly parallel to the ground. Again, arms are staying straight, and we're really working that horizontal adduction, which is the main function of the chest. So again, I got my arms pinned back really far. I'm keeping my arms as straight as possible. Chest is upright. I'm going slow on the eccentric, getting a nice big stretch, not resting at the bottom. Strong, big squeeze, pause at the top. And that was it. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Y'all know we got a Spotify-based and a YouTube-based video coming out every single week. Daily content on the socials. We got the merch and we got services. As always, I appreciate y'all and hope to see y'all in the next one. Later.